Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So I think it's really important that we celebrate our wins and we celebrate improvement and focus on positive things, especially within a body prep, fertility journey. And I think that it's important to celebrate wins that exist outside of just having a baby. Because when we start to track these little incremental improvements, that helps us stay the course. It motivates us to continue. It also validates the work that we're doing. It all leads to amazing things. And so today I'm going to talk about the top 3 things that will tell you your fertility is actually improving. Again, focusing on the positive. So I'm Bianca. I'm a fertility diet and lifestyle coach, professionally trained chef, and holistic nutritionist. And I help people get and stay pregnant over 35, over 40. And if this is what you want to do in 2025, I would love to help. One of the best things to track as to whether your fertility is improving or not, and one that happens really consistently, is your cycle. Improvements in your PMS, so like no cramping or less cramping, you stop spotting or you spot less frequently. Your mood is more balanced. You're not super exhausted. Like tracking some of those things, it's easy because every single month you are likely experiencing those things. And when you stop experiencing them or they're less intense or less frequent, that is a really good sign that your sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone are starting to become more balanced. And this is a good thing because that means that there's likely enough resources in the body or beginning to be enough resources in the body that are giving your body everything it needs so that it can prioritize good hormonal balance for fertility. So this is one that we're always tracking. And this, again, it lives outside of tracking ovulation because you're doing that for a different reason. But this is simply just to say, okay, things are probably getting better because our period is a vital sign. I believe it. And if you are starting to see positive improvements in this very important vital sign, then you could stand to believe, and you would probably be putting good money on it if you were to believe that, yes, my fertility is getting better, because those are such good symbols of good fertility. What's going on in our gut speaks to what's going on with our fertility. They are very, very connected. And so looking for improvements in your digestive health will also start to point toward good nutrient absorption, good digestion and motility, and good hormonal balance, because that's what good digestion means. And so look for signs like less cramping after you eat, less bloating, less gas. If you were dealing with constipation, you're dealing with it less. You're starting to have more movement. If you were dealing with diarrhea, you're starting to see like better constitution and body to some of your bowel movements. Because again, that means that there is better nutrient absorption happening. And when there's better nutrient absorption, there's better liver function because of what those nutrients and enzymes mean for phase 1 liver detox. If there is enough for phase 1 liver detox, there's enough for phase 2, and that means that you will have good hormonal balance. And that really speaks to the holistic system. That is why when one of these things starts to show improvements, we can believe that there's improvements in other areas because the holistic system. So, seeing better bulk in your stools, probably because you're eating better food, it has higher quality fiber, higher quality enzymes. It probably also means that there's better liver function going on because that's what it means to have good, strong bowel movements. And so looking for digestive clues and digestive improvements will help, again, validate the work that you are doing to get your body baby friendly, but you're also going to feel better too. This is one of the ones where it's like you feel better. Day to day, if you are getting cramping and bloating and constipation from the food that you eat or the way that you eat it, or lifestyle choices as well, you don't live a life of comfort. And so once those things start improving and you notice you're more comfortable, that's not just celebrating, fertility improvements. It's also just celebrating like life improvement. If your hair, your skin, your nails are brittle and you break out and, your skin is just not good, you will notice that when those things start improving, that is also an excellent sign of your fertility improving because what it means. When your hair and your skin and your nails are good and nice and healthy and strong, those are, especially on like the nails and the hair front, it's like waste. It's like stuff that's coming out of your body that like if your body is not well funded internally from all of these other perspectives, you will probably have deficiencies in your hair. Your hair is thinning, your hair is breaking, your nails are brittle, they're cracking, they're not strong, your skin is breaking out. And once you started seeing improvements in those areas, especially from your skin perspective, that means that your hormones are starting to be really well balanced. When your hair and your nails are really strong, it means you probably have good collagen function, good mineral balance. And that all speaks to good fertility, because what does good fertility require? It requires, good mineral balance, good collagen intake that you get from good quality animal foods. It's talking about hormones being balanced when we're talking about our skin. And so it's saying really good things about what's likely happening with your fertility. And what's great about all of these signs is that they come very quickly. Like you can start seeing improvements in your skin in like 2 weeks. You can start seeing improvement in your nails within a week's time. And that keeps you motivated, because one thing about fertility prep is it's not something that happens in a week. When you are getting your body baby friendly, you are taking 3 months, you're taking 6 months. If you really want to give yourself a lot of time, you're taking a year. And a year, while not a long time in the grand scheme of things, and even 3 months, not a long time in the grand scheme of things, 3 months zooms by, it can sometimes feel like, what am I doing this all for, if we're just using the benchmark of getting pregnant as the only measure of success. But when we peel it back and we look more detailed at the things that will improve on the path to baby, and we start celebrating those things, you start to feel more motivated, more energized. It carries you to the point that you start to feel the good things happening. You're sleeping better. Your hair, skin, and nails are popping. People are starting to compliment you. You don't have painful periods. You don't have super heavy periods. You're ovulating regularly, so you're feeling more like yourself. Like all of those things happen on the path to you getting pregnant. But if we aren't tracking those measurements of success and we're just focused on the only measure being getting pregnant, having a baby, then we miss all of the opportunities to celebrate and validate. And so that's a really important thing to keep in mind when you are on this path of trying to get pregnant, whether you're over 35, whether you're over 40, when you are taking the time to make your body baby friendly. Know the measurements to track that are going to keep you motivated to continue. One thing that I say all the time is the fertility diet, the fertility lifestyle is the longevity diet. It's the longevity lifestyle. It's the immunity lifestyle. It's the skin diet. It is all of those things because, again, nothing happens in our body in a vacuum. But knowing that means that we can start to use those other metrics as measures of success in the area of fertility. Fertility is one of those really insane things where, for the most part, when we think about trying to have a baby, many of us are trying not to have a baby for many years, and then we think it's just going to happen. And we sort of, it's one of those systems that you don't really know if anything's wrong until you start trying, for the most part, unless you are paying attention to some of these symptoms and signs. That being said, once we understand that there's other things that we can see the result of from our improved lifestyle that also point to good fertility, it means that we can start measuring and tracking in a way that actually feels really supportive. Because it can be hard in the journey of fertility. It just can. It can call upon all of your fears and insecurities. But when you start to look at the positive, look at the actual tangible positive things that are happening and, bring it down to the studs, that is when you can actually start to feel good about this process, because it's not just making your fertility better, it's making everything better. It's meaning that you are better, you feel better. And I think that's where all of this comes from. So if you like this video, please like, please comment, please share, and of course, please subscribe. I love having you here, and I hope that you feel hopeful and motivated and like there's a way forward with the goal of you trying to get pregnant, but also remembering that even though this can sometimes feel like a very negative experience, especially if you've been in the fertility journey for a while, we can start pulling back and actually finding positives in the situation. And that's only going to make you feel better in process to having the baby that you deserve to have. So I'll see you next time.